In January 2024, Celeste was a 13-year-old 7th grader from Lake Elsinore. She appeared next to David on a Twitch live stream at 3 a.m. During the broadcast, David laughed and told her to delete everything. She was 10 or 11 years old when they first met. According to Discord server logs recovered by online investigators, their connection began on Fortnite, a grown man playing video games with a 10-year-old girl. That is where this started. By the time of that Twitch stream, there was a 7 to 8 year age gap between them. He was a legal adult. She was a child. 1 month after the stream, in mid-February, Celeste was reported missing for the first time. During that same window, someone emailed David's record label, Interscope. The email said there was talk David was involved in her disappearance. It asked him to please do the right thing and take her home. Within days, Celeste returned to her family, but it didn't last. On March 19th, she was reported missing a second time. And then, on April 5th, the Riverside County Sheriff's Office received a third and final missing person report. Between January and March of 2024, David was photographed getting out of a black Tesla a few blocks from Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore. A local teenager posted the photos to TikTok. CNN later verified the location and time frame. He was a famous musician showing up in a small town where a 13-year-old lived. Nobody reported it. By June, Celeste was officially a missing person. Her family was looking for her. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office had an open case. Yet she was photographed backstage at David's sold-out show at the Fonda Theater in Los Angeles. A missing child at a concert surrounded by adults. Nobody called the police. In late December 2024, police recovered a digital camera from a rented house in the Hollywood Hills. The camera had photos of both Celeste and David on it. David posted other photos from the same memory card to his X account, captioning them "took these pics." He included a selfie wearing a camera of the exact same model. The house belonged to a man named Trifinovic. He told reporters he rented it to David's manager, Robert Morgenroth, since February 2024. His Instagram showed him inside the house, tagging the location. He was not hiding. A private investigator hired by the property owners later searched the grounds. According to IB Times UK, that investigator found a large metal incinerator known as a burn cage. It is illegal to use those for yard waste in Los Angeles. The white 2023 Tesla Model Y was registered to David. Residents in the Bird Streets area of the Hollywood Hills reported seeing it parked in the neighborhood since May 2025. It sat in its final spot on a residential street for 3 weeks. No one moved it or checked it. A citizen finally complained about the smell. It was towed on September 5th. 3 days later, police got a search warrant and opened the front trunk. It was 1 day after Celeste would have turned 15. According to court documents obtained by the LA Times, inside the trunk was a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. Detectives partially unzipped the bag. They found a decomposed head and torso. The medical examiner later determined that her arms and legs had been severed from the body. A separate bag contained the dismembered parts. The medical examiner described a female with wavy black hair. She wore a tube top and black leggings, yellow metal earrings, a yellow chain bracelet. On her right index finger, a shesh tattoo, the same tattoo David has on his finger. The medical examiner officially ruled the manner of death as homicide. The next day, September 9th, David performed a concert in Minneapolis. He tossed toys into the crowd. He hyped his songs. He never mentioned the discovery. The LAPD moved to seal the autopsy results. Detective Joshua Byers filed documents describing the case as a murder investigation. The chief medical examiner publicly pushed back. He called the seal a practice he had been trying to stop. The court order blocking the release of further information remained in place as of April 18th. No specific cause of death has been publicly revealed. A former homicide prosecutor told TMZ that the severe decomposition of the body should not be a major hurdle for the case. The manner of death, Homicide has already been established. On September 19th, 11 days after the body was found, David's world tour was quietly canceled. The final U.S. stops in San Francisco and Los Angeles were scrapped, along with the entire European leg. His deluxe album was shelved. Grox and Hollister pulled their campaigns. Corporate America moved faster than the justice system. For 7 months after the body was found, no arrest was made. The car was in custody. The digital trail was established. The camera was recovered. Yet a 21-year-old man whose Tesla held the dismembered remains of a 14-year-old girl walked free. CNN's own reporters noted it was unclear why it took so long to make an arrest. 7 months. That is not careful police work. That is a system that failed a dead child. While the police built their case, communities on Reddit tracked the car's movements. Volunteers archived the deleted Twitch streams and preserved the Discord messages. Some noticed David was allegedly online playing Fortnite during the investigation. Together, they built a timeline the public was not seeing. They also pointed out the lyrics to his hit song, Romantic Homicide. The song includes the lines, "In the back of my trunk, you died, and I didn't even cry." Those are not metaphors. Those are details. A trunk, a body, no remorse. Thousands of David's fans defended him anyway. They blamed cartels. They blamed the manager. They said he hadn't been charged, so he must be innocent. They had access to the same evidence everyone else had and chose to protect a celebrity over a missing child. Behind the scenes, the DA's office was building a case. According to the LA Times, prosecutors began presenting evidence to a grand jury in November 2025. David's manager was called to testify. A friend of David's, a streamer named Neil Langston, was also called. He refused to show up. He was arrested in Montana on a felony charge for failing to appear and brought back to Los Angeles. He was released on $60,000 bail and eventually testified in early February. David's parents and brother, who live in Texas, tried to fight their subpoenas in court. They lost. A judge ruled they had to comply. It was this legal fight that unsealed the court documents and officially named David as the target of a homicide investigation. But the grand jury did not return an indictment. Key witnesses refused to cooperate. Others had to be dragged in by force. Without full cooperation, the DA could not get enough to formally charge him through that process. So now the DA's office is going a different route. They are reviewing the evidence independently. That decision comes Monday. On April 16th, 22/6 LAPD robbery homicide detectives and members of the Gang and Narcotics Division arrived at a home on Marmont Avenue. The house previously belonged to actress Sandra Bullock. They wore tactical gear and carried rifles. LAPD vehicles blocked the road on both sides. After 4:30 p.m., officers used a ramming device to breach the door. A squad stood behind the breaching officer with guns drawn. They ordered David Burke to come out. He surrendered without incident. He was formally arrested at 5 p.m. Detectives were seen leaving the house carrying evidence boxes. He is being held without bail. He was booked into Los Angeles County Jail. His defense team, attorneys Blair Burke and 2 other attorneys, released a statement. They said the evidence will show David did not take Celeste's life and was not the cause of her passing. They pointed out that no indictment has been returned and no complaint has been filed. Celeste's father, Jesus Rivas, responded to the arrest with 2 words, "Thank God." The family has invoked Marsy's Law, the California Victims' Bill of Rights, and plans to release a full statement through their attorney. David is expected to make his first court appearance on Monday, April 20th. The DA's Major Crimes Division will review the case for filing consideration. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was 13 years old when she met David Burke on Fortnite. She was 14 when her body was found in his car. She deserved protection from the people around her and from the system that was supposed to keep her safe. She got neither.